Hello, my name is Jet, and this is how I made a bow. To start, you're going to want wood, probably around 3 or so inches thick. Oh, but Jet, where do I get wood? What kind of wood should I get? Well, you can go to the store, or better, a forest with ample wood to be used. For the wood, I'm using Eastern Red Cedar, which is in the Juniper genus. There are 3 main reasons behind that choice. One is that they're everywhere and invasive to Oklahoma. 2 is that Juniper's okay bow wood. And 3 is that it smells quite nice, I think, personally. You can tell that it's Juniper because it has these leaves, like kind of piney. Usually they're quite short. And a better way to tell is that the insides are nice and red. Here's my phone mount for now. We'll see how long this lasts. Now, a good saw is important when harvesting wood, for your wood cannot be harvested without it. I highly endorse the Silky saw because it's sharper than any saw I've ever had, and it folds up. I'll put a link to the model I got below. While I was out here, I found a weird random organ, not very much blood around it. Second one, saw a bird in the snow, and a bloody paw print. Couldn't really tell you what's happening there. Now, a saw is just not going to do it by itself, so I'm going to use a machete as well. I'll also link the one that I'm using here below. Now that we've cut our logs, we're going to look for the least knotty, like where branches came off, areas, and we're going to choose a nice length of it to start cutting down into our actual bow. Don't mind my shaky hand and my terrible drawing, but this is meant to be a stick. And you can see I drew an arrow to keep on the outside of our stick and shave on the inside. This is because we want to leave as much of the outside bark on one side as possible and expose the inside. That's because the inside wood is a whole lot less durable and a whole lot more brittle than the outside wood, and we want the flex to be on the outside. Keeping the handle too will come in very handy later whenever you're going to want to hold the bow. If you wanted to create a recurve bow, you would have to boil water and stick your bow in the boiling water for quite a long time, which will make it malleable enough for you to bend the tips forward like that. And then whenever you string it up, it becomes more of that recurve bow shape that you see. Now here's a time lapse of a lot of chopping and a lot of shaving. first started hurting real bad because my bones weren't all aligned when you're chopping all that much. So I decided to make just a little brace out of a napkin and some duct tape. And I put some string, but I took that off later because it really wasn't helping. But it's important to keep your wrists straight whenever you're doing this, or else you'll end up like me in a shed, duct tape all over me. So here, I'm showing just the underbark. That's just right underneath all that brown, papery stuff all over it, and it's quite easy to peel off. Now here's the heartwood. Much more brittle, but kind of stronger. You want the stretchy stuff on the outside, the bark, and the heartwood on the inside. This will stop you from cracking your bow and all that. Now, you can keep whittling at it with a machete, but if you have a draw knife, it makes thinning things out a whole lot easier. If you have the materials too, I highly suggest putting together your own shave horse. It's just a big wooden vise I made from some screws, a hinge, and a couple 2x4s. It makes woodwork worlds faster. Now, onto carving the knock, or the notch that holds on the string. On either side of the bow, I'm going to carve a little notch. Here I have my brother's carving tools, because I'm better than you. Because you can't see it very well, here's a photo. It's just a little slanted notch on either side of the bow that holds the line, just like that. Pretty simple, you could just do it with a pocket knife if need be. Now that the bow is almost finished, I'm just gonna pull down on either side from the middle and see where the most stiffness is coming from and carve down on that, making an even pull on both sides of the bow so I can get a better shot from it. And for my string, I started by using this old crappy string, but I quickly realized after tying it up that it immediately slacks out and that I might have to switch to paracord. Keep in mind the cracking is from the string, not the bow.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna use paracord.
Although paracord's not good bowstring, if you do use it, make sure to melt the ends. Here, I'm tying the overhand loop. It's a simple knot formed from tying just an overhand knot around the bight. The bight is the curved section of slack between two ends of a rope. Here's when I realized I cut the rope too short. I'll try and show how I did it, but here I'm just putting weight on the bow and wrapping the end string around the other side. Here you can hear a whole lot less cracking than the last one, and you can tell I'm awful happy about it.
Woohoo!
Tying the paracord off to the end, I simply went over, then I went under, and then I wrapped it around the end multiple times. And then I just tied it off with an overhand knot. For now, I'm going to be using my custom-made arrow, which is really bent up, not using a field tip, and has terrible fletchings. But that's okay. Now, onto the shooting.
That fucking sucks.
That looks sexy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's the end of these fletchings, and this arrow keeps getting stuck, so I'm upgrading to a normal arrow with an extremely blunted tip, so it probably won't stick in it, but we'll see if we can. And here's the final crossyard shot. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned, because within the next year I might release another video